What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Noob. You know, there's one genre in the manga anime world that I'm not really a big fan of, and that is the idol genre. And yes, I know, they really exist. They're in real life, they're in anime, they're in mangas, they're in video games, but I've never been really a fan of them. Well, unless you consider that one anime, but they were trying to be for play, and there was battles, and there was that fucking giraffe, but I digress. So you will find it really rare to find me enjoying something that has to do with the idol subject. But recently I found a manga that does revolve around an idol that I find very interesting. The title of this manga is called A Stalker Too Otaku no Risu no Kanki. The story of this manga follows Masaki. He is the main character of this story. He is your basic college student. He goes to school, he has a part-time job, he has his small hobbies, and the hobby that he enjoys the most is he's a big fan of an idol group, especially of the main idol. Now, this is, typical story, we all have our idols that we like, and we always fantasize about them coming into our lives. Well, luckily for him, his idol does that. See, the main idol is known as Mikatan, and she moves in next door to the main character. Now, you would think this would be the point in the story where it would take one of two things, romance or, uncommonly, the stalker thing, because we know that idols do have stalkers and sometimes they don't like it. Well, what if I told you that the thing about the manga that caught my attention is your idol basically plays the reverse Uno card on her fan. This story revolves about stalking, but not of the otaku Masaki stalking his idol. No. In this story, the idol Mikatan is actually stalking him. Now, as I said, as the story starts out, Mikatan moves in next door to Misaki, and he already has the fantasy thoughts that most of us has. He's like, oh my god, I get to be next to her, I can't wait to interact with her, and of course he's joking around and maybe I'll get to date her. It's then that his idol image of her is broken. From across the wall, he hears sounds of moaning. Basically, it sounds like she is having sex, and this kind of breaks his image of her. But what he doesn't realize is she's actually on the other side of the wall playing audio of moaning sound, purposely messing with him. Now, she does a lot of things to mess with him in this manga, and like I said, she is stalking him. I'm not going to get into the reason why she is stalking him, because I think that would kind of be a spoiler. I really want you to read this, but let me tell you some of the things that she does that I just find both hilarious and a little concerning. Now, there are things that she does in this, and I'm talking play noises in her room to make it sound like she's having sex. She has her brother come over and basically makes it look like that she's the boyfriend, that he's the boyfriend of her, but she's not, and later on she reveals that. She does something to where it looks like panties are being stolen, and when he goes to return one because one blew on his thing, she calls him a pervert. There's even a point in this where she breaks into his apartment, plants a mini camera, and then later on, when hanging out with him, trying to be all friendly, she wins a prize that she gives to him, but the prize is a keychain thing that actually has a GPS unit on it, so she can continuously follow him. And now, like I said, our main boy, Masaki, is actually, he's still a fan of hers. Even though she moves next door, he actually doesn't tell her. He tries to, pretend that he doesn't know her. He goes to school. He still goes to her idol concerts, and she knows this, and she purposely does things over and over, basically to torment him a little. To, raise his hopes that he's going to get close to the idol, but then also break them by doing things like throwing away gifts that he gave her, or like I said, making sounds on the other side, or, getting to the point where she almost blames him for stalking her, even though she's the one stalking him. And now you would think that maybe she's doing this for a cruel intention, but in reality, she actually is in love with him. And she has this warped image that doing mean things to him is her way of showing love. Now, like I said, I'm not going to tell you why she's in love with him, why she's stalking him, or what brought her to the point of this, because I think that's a big major spoiler, which you do find out. I think it's like 80-something chapters in. Luckily, these chapters aren't really too long, so if you were to give yourself a couple hours and sit down and binge it, you'd probably be able to catch up to the latest chapter that was put out. I personally have liked this. I love the growing relationship between them, because even though she still stalks him, she doesn't want to push him away. There's even a point where one of her idol partners, singers, bandmates, I don't know what we call idols, but she comes over, and she's over there for a specific reason, but when she sees that he is actually a fan of hers because she actually remembers him, she even says, hey, do you need me to call the cops because he's stalking you? But Mika-tan breaks down and says, please don't call the cops. I'm in love with him. I cannot have him being taken away from him. She has got this warped love that some might find crazy and some might find endearing. I find the story really interesting. This is a manga that is a very unique look on the idol world. Like I said, idols are usually the big, pretty, you'll see them on posters, see them in animes, manga, blah, 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 but they have their fair share of bad things, the biggest one being stalking. But like I said, in this manga, it is a complete Uno reverse. And I find that very unique. And I think if you want a different take on idols, I think you might enjoy this one. Well, folks, I'm the Noob. Thank you for joining me. I hope this manga recommendation is something that you're looking into. Are you a fan of the idol world? Do you enjoy the idol stories, or are you not a fan of them? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, folks, thank you for joining me, and I'll catch y'all next time. See ya!